Imagine a man sworn to protect a quiet American town, dressed in the uniform of justice, respected by his community, trusted with their lives. Now imagine that very man, behind closed doors, harboring a darkness so twisted it chills the soul. But it gets worse. When justice finally caught up with him, his escape was nothing short of cinematic. An audacious break that left authorities scrambling, a disguise so clever it fooled everyone, and a trail of secrets that only deepened the horror. This is not your typical cop gone rogue story. This is a nightmare that played out in real time in Arkansas just yesterday. Stick around, because what you're about to hear, it's a true crime tale with twists so shocking, you won't see them coming. And I guarantee you've never heard a police chief story told like this before. But before we dive deep, if you love stories that peel back the layers of human darkness, and mysteries that unravel like a thriller, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Trust me, you'll want to see part 2 when it drops. Now let's get into it. Arkansas, 2025. The town of Monticello, normally sleepy with its leafy streets and small-town charm, had long regarded its police department with a sense of pride. At the helm was 43-year-old Chief Derek Shannon, a figure as familiar as the morning coffee. With a steady hand and a calm voice, Shannon was the image of law and order. His days started early, patrolling, community meetings, barbecues with neighbors, mentoring the local youth. He was the quintessential small-town cop, reliable, approachable, the kind of man who remembered everyone's name. But beneath the surface, subtle oddities whispered. A whispered complaint here, a late night there. Citizens noticed the flicker of something off. An unexplained late shift, a patrol car parked idly in dark corners, a slight hesitation when he spoke about certain investigations. Nothing concrete, just a shadow. What the town didn't know, and what would soon shatter their trust, was that Derek Shannon's life was a house of horrors built on deception. In the months leading to his arrest, disturbing rumors surfaced about his private life, allegations of abuse, coercion, and most alarmingly, violent crimes hidden under the veil of authority. The breaking point came when a young woman named Emily Harper bravely stepped forward. Emily was a local high school teacher with a reputation for integrity. She reported that Shannon had assaulted her sister, a trauma that had haunted the family for years. But that was only the tip of the iceberg. As investigators dug deeper, a pattern emerged. Multiple victims, some too terrified to speak, others silenced by threats. Shannon's facade crumbled. The most gruesome discovery was linked to a cold case, an unsolved murder from 5 years prior. New forensic technology tied Shannon directly to the crime scene. DNA evidence, hidden communication logs, and disturbing photographs. On the day the warrant was served, Shannon appeared calm, almost eerily so. But just hours after being booked into the county jail, the nightmare escalated. In a daring move, Shannon escaped custody, not with brute force or a violent riot, but by slipping into an unassuming disguise, a prison guard's uniform. How did he get the uniform? How did no one notice? Surveillance footage later revealed a brief but critical lapse. A distracted jailer had accidentally left the uniform unattended during a shift change. Shannon seized the moment. Under the guard's hat and jacket, he walked out of the prison gates as if he belonged there, bypassing checkpoints with the quiet confidence of someone who knew exactly where to go and whom to avoid. His escape was met with chaos. Officers scrambled, roadblocks were set, and a statewide manhunt began. News helicopters circled overhead, live broadcasts capturing the surreal scene of a police chief turned fugitive, blending into the very system he once commanded. In the immediate aftermath, rumors swirled like wildfire. Some claimed Shannon had fled the state. Others insisted he was hiding in plain sight, perhaps even back in Monticello. Investigators followed dozens of leads. An abandoned car near the Mississippi River, a mysterious tip about a remote cabin in the Ozarks, and a chilling report from a gas station clerk who swore they saw a man matching Shannon's description. But none led to capture. What made the manhunt even more bewildering were contradictions in witness accounts. Several locals recalled seeing Shannon in places he had no reason to be, yet surveillance footage from some locations showed no sign of him. Was someone helping him? Or was he playing a dangerous game of deception, moving in shadows? At this point, I want to hear from you. Where do you think Derek Shannon went after escaping? Was it a carefully planned hideout or a desperate scramble? Drop your theories in the comments below. Let's see who comes closest when the truth comes out. Also, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button because this story isn't over. We're just getting started. There's a part 2 coming that will blow the lid off everything we think we know about this case. Further investigations revealed something far more sinister beneath the surface. Documents obtained through whistleblowers exposed a secret network of corruption within the local law enforcement. Officers who looked the other way, evidence that disappeared, and victims whose cries were muffled by fear and power. One particularly chilling detail was Shannon's ability to manipulate the system. He had altered records, used intimidation to silence potential witnesses, and even had access to surveillance feeds that he used to stay one step ahead. In the darkest twist, new evidence implicated Shannon not only in the original murder and assaults, but also in a series of rapes committed under the cover of his official duties. Acts so brutal and calculated that they shattered the town's sense of safety forever. The human toll is staggering. Families fractured, lives forever scarred by betrayal. Emily Harper, now a community advocate, says, "It's hard to reconcile the man I thought I knew with the monster he turned out to be. This isn't just about one person. It's about how we protect the vulnerable and hold power accountable." The people of Monticello are left grappling with shattered trust and a haunting question. How could a protector become the predator? How do communities heal when the very system meant to safeguard them betrays its oath? And yet, the biggest mystery remains unsolved. Where is Derek Shannon now? Is he hiding out, orchestrating his next move? Or is someone else pulling strings in the shadows? Join us as we dive into the manhunt, explore new leads, and uncover the truth behind Shannon's astonishing escape plan, and the terrifying network that might still be out there, lurking unseen. If the story sent chills down your spine, hit like and share it with your true crime crew. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. The revelations there will change everything you think you know about this case. Join our community where we dissect every detail, challenge the narratives, and seek justice through truth. Because in true crime, sometimes the darkest secrets hide in plain sight. Derek Shannon's prison escape wasn't just a break for freedom. It was a masterclass in deception, fueled by secrets so deep they threaten to unravel an entire community. In part 2, we follow the frantic manhunt that gripped Arkansas, unearth startling new leads, and reveal a sinister conspiracy lurking behind the scenes. If you thought part 1 was intense, buckle up, because the story gets darker, more complex, and the truth even more unsettling. And hey, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, now's the time. This story is the real deal, and the full truth demands every piece of the puzzle. From the moment Shannon slipped out in that prison guard disguise, law enforcement agencies scrambled to contain the fallout. Highways were blocked, police dogs combed dense forests, drones buzzed over the Ozark Hills. Yet, Shannon seemed to vanish. Multiple sightings poured in, each more tantalizing and frustrating than the last. One anonymous tip claimed Shannon was spotted crossing the Arkansas-Louisiana border under cover of night, his features obscured by a broad-brimmed hat and fake beard. Another lead directed authorities to a dilapidated farmhouse near Lake Charles. But when SWAT teams stormed the place, it was empty, save for a worn-out leather jacket emblazoned with a faded police patch. Questions mounted. How was Shannon always one step ahead? Was he being helped? Inside sources within the Arkansas State Police disclosed shocking information. Shannon had allies. Several officers at the Monticello Police Department, it appeared, had knowingly shielded him. Some tampered with evidence. Others falsified reports. One whistleblower revealed a clandestine meeting weeks before the escape, where key players allegedly planned contingencies to protect Shannon. This wasn't a lone wolf story. It was an intricate web of loyalty, fear, and corruption, woven tightly into the fabric of a town desperate to preserve its image. New evidence uncovered by federal investigators gave chilling insight into the escape. Shannon had spent months covertly mapping the jail's routines. He exploited a vulnerability during shift changeovers, timing his move to the second. The prison guard uniform wasn't simply left unattended. It was deliberately placed. Further investigation suggested the uniform was smuggled in pieces over weeks by an accomplice among the staff. And that's not all. Surveillance footage from inside the prison was mysteriously missing key segments during the escape window, deleted or erased with precision. In a stunning development, the man believed to have helped Shannon, the jail's own sergeant, was arrested after the escape. Sergeant Mark Willis, a 15-year veteran, was charged with aiding and abetting an escape, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy. During interrogation, Willis maintained his silence, but investigators found encrypted messages on his phone referencing the plan and the chief's freedom. Was Willis protecting Shannon out of loyalty, fear? The aftermath of the escape emboldened others to speak out. 2 additional victims came forward, recounting harrowing tales of abuse spanning years. Each linking Shannon to acts so horrific, they painted a portrait of a man who abused not just power but trust itself. Emily Harper's sister, whose brave testimony helped ignite the investigation, vowed to fight for justice, saying, "We won't let him hide in the shadows forever." What do you think of the growing conspiracy inside the police force? Does this change your view of the escape? Are there other layers we should be digging into? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you find this story compelling, please share it with your friends who love true crime. There's more coming. We will reveal the final unraveling of Shannon's network and his shocking capture. One of the most astonishing discoveries came when investigators analyzed the prison guard uniform Shannon wore to escape. It was modified with hidden pockets. Inside were keys, a phone, and even a small firearm. But the real shock was a fake identity document. Shannon had prepared a new identity weeks in advance. This wasn't just an escape. It was an attempt to vanish entirely. Monticello, a town that once basked in the pride of its police force, now wrestles with betrayal. Counseling centers were set up for victims and their families. Town meetings are filled with raw emotion, anger, grief, confusion. The police department is undergoing a complete overhaul, with external oversight brought in to restore trust. As of now, Derek Shannon remains at large, his whereabouts unknown. The search continues, fueled by the hope that he will be found and justice served. But with every passing day, fear grows that he may disappear forever. This story is far from over. If you want to stay updated and dive deeper into every twist and revelation, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We bring you answers to the darkest questions and the justice so many are waiting for. Thank you for joining me on this journey into one of America's most chilling true crime stories. Remember, sometimes the greatest evil wears the badge of honor.